Hi everyone, I'm Huub Hildenbrand. Thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we will talk about scale tendencies, and this is a very basic topic, which is a very important topic actually, because a lot of rules and ideas of tonal harmony will just evolve from this basis. And there is a saying, you can say, music is a small universe. And what that means, you will understand in this lesson when we talk about scale tendencies. So let's get right into the endless ocean of music. Down in the description below you find a link where you can download a PDF file, and I would really advise you to do that, because I will not explain everything what's written there. There's a kind of a more theoretical analysis of these scale tendencies and about concepts and ideas there. And what I actually will do in this lesson, I will lead you through this process. Actually we will listen a lot, and we'll find out how these different notes of a scale function. And as I said in the introduction, this is very, very influential, you can say, to all this tonal harmony and also to other cultures, because this is a kind of a basis. And in this lesson we are taking the Ionian, the major scale, and Aeolian, the natural minor scale, as the scales which we want to really evaluate concerning these scale tendencies, the individual notes, where they want to move, what their function is. And of course there are a lot of different scales and systems, and like Indian music and Turkish music, microtones and so on. But I think choosing these traditional, most basic scales of our minor and major tonality in Western music is a good start for exploration, because this Western music is very complex actually in its all these possibilities of chromatic extension and modulation, and so this system, actually the whole system, needs a very strong tonality. In other cultures you sometimes stay for the whole time with one scale, and you have a lot of time to establish a kind of a root and all the other functions, and you can actually use scales which for our like Western ears sound very strange, and not really give at first gives this tonality, like what is home base, what is the root here. And also like Indian music, for example, has a tambura which is always sounding like the root. And but in Western music we go sometimes we go very far from it, and we want to have a feeling of home base, of coming back home when we come back to the tonic chord, tonic function. And for that reason, our scales, our basic scales, minor and major, should really function in that way, or give this feeling. So I think the tonality of major and minor scales, they are very strong, and especially of the major scale, of course, and it's also very related to the overtone series, to the harmonic series. And minor is a sort of relative to the major scale, like a kind of a I don't know. I don't I don't know what to call it now in English. Sorry. Okay, so let's get right in. And I also have a drone here. Maybe I will use this, and if I use this, I put it down in the description below. There you can download all these 12 drones. This helps some exercises. It's actually a very helpful tool for a lot of stuff. Okay, so I have this page here with this E major, E minor, and the tonal framework 1 with the third in front of me. And what we are doing, we just go through the scale very, very slowly and singing and listening. And yeah, I will demonstrate. And you when I sing something, please join me singing and really experience what is happening here. Okay. So we have a note, one note. It's the E, and we can also play it. And let's try to really center in that note. Because if you just have one note, it is a tonic. It is the center. It doesn't want to resolve, because there is no other fourth or no other note, which there is no relationship, you can say. So let's sing it. Okay, now we go to the next note, up to the F sharp. F sharp. And we really listen to this F sharp. This is a kind of a tension. It's beautiful, but at the same time, if you really listen to it, it does not want to stay there. In a way, the F sharp tends to move. It wants to move back to the tonic. F sharp tension. E resolution. La, la. So that's our home bass, E. And F sharp is just an upper note, step up, which wants to resolve back to the tonic. You hear this? You really hear this? This can't be really the end of a tune, so to speak, or important thing about all these tendencies and what I'm talking about, that it can't end like this, a tune or whatever. It's not really true, because of course you can do whatever with these notes. I mean, you can end with this, sure, why not? But you have to remember that the tendency of this F sharp is to go back to E, and when you end with this low E and this F sharp, you have a certain kind of mood, a certain kind of attention, a certain kind of not resting so much, a certain kind of feel, which results from this force, from this gravitational force which is there. So just be conscious about these forces, these gravitational forces, and but then you are more clear with that, and then you can shape the music any way you want. Sorry, that's it. Ends here. Okay, so let's go higher to the G sharp. G sharp, G sharp, G sharp. You hear that? G sharp also wants to go to the E. It wants to resolve, because this is the this is the resolution. G sharp, E. If I play both notes together, when you go with the G sharp to F sharp, it's not resolved. In a way, you immediately hear still there's this force of the G sharp wanting to move to E. So you really hear that this F sharp now is just in between, a step in between, and just wants to go to E again. So G sharp, F sharp, E. But this is not a direct resolution, because I think you hear that the F sharp actually has more dissonance, is more eager to move than the F sharp, than the G sharp. The G sharp is more resting. Whereas the F sharp wants to go to E. Or, because the G sharp is also at least a more resting place than the F sharp can also resolve to G sharp. So F sharp, yes, you hear this? It's more tension here on the F sharp than on the G sharp. And then the whole thing is completely resolved when going back to the E. All right, so let's get up to the A, the fourth. E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And I think this A is very obvious. This A really wants to resolve to the G sharp. It's really, this is a kind of, in a way, it's kind of very far out of the tonality, and there are also some explanations on the PDF file. But I think you really hear this. This is also a very common move in the classical music, Western harmony. It's like it's called suspension. It suspends the G sharp, the major third. G sharp. So in a way you have like a step below and a step above the third, the major third. You have like two tendency tones which want to resolve to the third. You have the F sharp, G sharp, or A, G sharp, and then down you have F sharp, E, or G sharp, E. So you have like a temporary gravitational center here on the G sharp. And also interestingly, this G sharp is really not confusing the tonality in a way. It's more supporting the tonality. It's not either or. It's blending very nicely together, G sharp and E. So it's kind of can be one chord, for example, or it's like, in a way, it's really a part of the tonal center. And I'm not really talking so much about tonal harmony now, or Western harmony, and try to find explanations here, in a way, for certain rules which are there, but more like we just listen. We just listen where the notes want to go. And that's the whole concern, is just listen and listening for these tendencies, for these gravitational forces here. And later on we see this is like perfectly matching with most of the rules which evolve from that. Okay. E, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, A, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, E, F sharp, E. Now we go up to the fifths. B, perfect fifths is the most prominent and important interval in music. The perfect fifth really stabilizes the root. It's also called, I call this tonal like framework 1. It's actually with the added octave here. Strong resolution here. B, if I sing this B, I don't feel at home base here. B, I have to go E, or B, E. tendency. And we are already with our ears, we are completely now in this E tonality, because we are always listening this and having already most of the notes here of the major scale. But this framework thing, and please check out these tonal harmony lessons I already uploaded. This tonal this framework, this perfect fifth, is really also working if you just play any perfect fifth, completely out of a tonality. You play a perfect fifth, and immediately you have a root and a fifth which is supporting the root, which gives stability. But at the same time, it's very melting together, very blending. It's the most, besides the octave, it's the most blending interval. Stepwise resolution to the most prominent tone of the tonal framework. B, A, B, or A, G sharp, which is also very, very logical. It's also a very close step, so the G sharp is really close. In a way, they really belong together. They are like always in a kind of a fight. So please read the PDF file for this explanations. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp. Which has a very strong tendency, very close to the root. It really needs to resolve. It's it's the second highest tension in the scale. D sharp, E, D sharp, E, or D sharp, E. Directly to the E. So it's like C sharp up to E. You also have this pentatonic, for example. I think we talk now about all these tendencies, and please listen and sing for yourself also, and really get into it, because then you really understand these forces which are always present in music, and that's the idea of this miniature of a whole universe, like planets and the sun, which is a gravitational center. It's really connected. It's really, you really work as a musician. You really work with these forces. So it's very wise, of course, to understand them and not take everything for granted. You know, that here's a C major scale or whatever. Ah, okay, next. No, it's really listen, and go into it, and then you are much more in the position to make music with it, because your ears are open and you understand it, what's happening Okay, this was a improvisation with this, just with a scale, without thinking chords, but with really be conscious about resolutions and tendencies. Okay, what happens if we take the minor scale? And this is something I want you to do by yourself. Just take this E minor scale and listen for these tendencies. On the sheet you have all these tendencies written out, but be really sure that you understand them by yourself and really really listen to that, because that's the most important thing. If your ear listens and you hear that, you hear this tendency, you hear this thing, then you're done. In a way, then you know, okay, so you can go to different topics. But you have to really focus and put your awareness, and this is a kind of yeah, you have to learn how to listen in a way. Okay, there's just one difference with Aeolian. Of course, it has a minor third, but please read the PDF and also check out the tonal harmony. I think lesson 4. There we talk about major and minor third, and these two notes are just variants of the same thing. But also you have a different tendency with a minor 6 and the minor 7s. So let me demonstrate this to you. I play a bit. On the scale, and improvise a bit just to get the sound in our ear, because we always play this major scale now, and so minor scale is a completely different atmosphere, different room. Turkish music and also in Indian music to some degree, that you for a while that your whole movements move around one note, which you're picking as a kind of a temporary center. And this note, of course, has implied, although it is a kind of a center for the moment, has implied its tendency to resolve to the root or to the third or fifth. So in a way you're creating a new tonal center which is like even a miniature of the basic tonality. I hope you understand this. This is also something later, which comes later. Maybe you already know about like secondary dominance. This is very connected here. Okay, so let me show you again. First, I circle around E, just to make this clear. Then I increase the range. Now I can go to the F sharp. Resolving back to E. And what I wanted to show you is how strong and dissonant actually the C is. Very powerful, emotional. And a huge part of this emotion comes from this dissonance. It's like a suffering sound, a very sad sound, but also very expressive. Has a lot of energy and wants to resolve back to B, to the fifth. And while the D also has the tendency to go to E, in comparison with the D sharp, in a way it also leads more, or not more, but it also leads to the B. So like very much likes to go stepwise with a C in between, to B, DCB. D to C is not resolving, it's more increasing the tension, but at the same time it's stepwise motion. And stepwise motion is what we prefer as in our as a melodic quality, because it's very much more connected with our singing, with our natural singing, than having these leaps. So we want to sing more steps. It's more easy, more natural, more whatever. So B, C, B, G, C, B, E, D, C, B, please do that for yourself. If you're really not really sure about what we are talking here, and you do not really hear this for yourself so clearly, so please do this for yourself, practicing. So take this drone, download it. It's the link I put in the description below, and sing the different notes and really listen and feel their tendencies, their degrees of dissonance, and that's a very important exercise. And you really need to be very clear about that, because if you don't hear it, that means that your ear is not really open enough for these intervals and building blocks in music. What they're actually creating. So that's a very important exercise. Okay, the last line of this one page is a kind of, you can say, is a summary of this tonal framework. One added with the added third. So these are actually the framework notes, and the third is really can be really seen as a part of the framework, because the third is the only note which doesn't disturb the basic framework one, you can say. So the F sharp is, and the D sharp, they are in major, they are very close to E, and they are in a way disturbing the E. The A and the C sharp, they are really close to B, to this framework note, and disturbing it. And there's actually only one note left, the G or the G sharp, depends on which scale, which doesn't really disturb the tonal framework. And in addition, the major third actually really supports this tonality due to the harmonic series. And please download this PDF and read it, because there are a lot of, important informations which I didn't talk about here. Also, you're supporting this work here on my channel. Okay, I think that's it for today with these tendencies, and please subscribe to my channel if you like these lessons, and also there's a possibility, following the link below, to my website of Guitar Academia, where you can donate to support my work here on this channel. I would be really happy if you do so. And thanks for watching. My name is Hildenbrand.